Hello, it is Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about the Combat PDW for GTA 5 and GTA Online. And is the weapon really that good? And also I'm going to be talking about some ways to improve the weapon in GTA 5 and GTA Online. Now, a week ago or so, I made a video called GTA 5 Combat PDW Gun Guide. And if you want to go check that out, there will be a link in the description if you haven't seen it yet. It talks about the weapon, it talks about the Combat PDW, and if you want to go check it out, there will be a link in the description. But the Combat PDW is a weapon that was introduced in the Ill-Gotten Gains update for GTA 5 and GTA Online. And I want to talk about the weapon because, in my opinion, it's a kind of disappointing weapon and kind of lackluster. Now, I want to talk about it in this video and also get your thoughts on this weapon. Also, I kind of want to throw out some ideas to improve this weapon and make it viable in the game. First off, I want to say that the SMGs in GTA 5, they aren't amazing. Some are okay. I think the Assault SMG is quite good if you want to add long range because it doesn't have a range drop off at all. And even the Micro SMG can be used in certain points because of that high rate of fire. But the standard SMG, it's not all that great, and the Combat PDW as well is not all that great. And just this SMG category in general is kind of outclassed by the assault rifles in a lot of areas. Now, I feel like the Combat PDW needs to be improved in some way. And the reason why I feel it's so bad, and I mentioned this in the Combat PDW gun guide, is because you can't use it in Forced Push Pickups deathmatches. Problem with that is every time you're going to be using the weapon against other players is it's going to have to be against own push pickups weapons. And chances are, if you're going up against somebody who's using a different weapon, chances are they're going to have a silencer on that weapon. Like, let's say it's an assault rifle. Chances are they're going to have a silencer on it. If it's an SMG or a Micro SMG or assault SMG, chances are they're going to have a silencer on it. If it's a sniper or a marksman rifle, chances are they're going to have a silencer on it. So for the most part, they're going to have a silencer on that weapon, which is a problem in my opinion because, of course, the weapon has an integrated silencer. Like, that's the main point of the weapon, is that it has that integrated silencer. Another reason why I don't like the weapon is it just doesn't feel like it has a purpose in the game. Sure, it does have the highest damage of all the SMGs, but it still has lower damage than all of the assault rifles. And sure, the weapon does have a pretty good spread of 3.0, but and that's as good as the assault SMG and better than all the other SMGs. But for the most part, I just don't know what they were doing with the weapon. Now, it could have been that they just wanted a high damage SMG, which could be it because it does have a low rate of fire, high damage, but still not super high damage. I mean, it's still lower than the assault rifles and barely higher than some of the other SMGs at 28. They could have wanted a high accuracy SMG because of that spread of 3.0, which is pretty good for an SMG, and it doesn't have much spread. They could have also wanted a long range SMG, which wouldn't make much sense because an SMG isn't supposed to be used at long range. But the drop off is starting at 30 and not 40, much like the Micro SMG, and the Assault SMG has 0 meters. So the Assault SMG at long range is better and will deal more damage because it doesn't have a range drop off. So there's something wrong with this weapon in my opinion, and that's it doesn't really feel to have a role with it. I mean, with the rate of fire, you're not going to be using it, as a weapon that you just spray and pray. It's not a weapon that you're going to be using at long range, and the damage isn't amazing either. So what I think this weapon could be used is just an all-round good SMG up close. That's what I want this weapon to be. I want this weapon to be great up close, but unusable at long range. Or at least, be viable at long range. You're just going to have to switch to a different weapon. So the way I would like to go about this would be them to make the damage 45 damage per shot. Now what this would mean is if you're going up against another player, that would mean that it would take from 6 to 8 shots to kill that another player. So that would be 6 to 8 shots. And that would be up until about 15 meters. Because, of course, if that was 30 meters, that'd be pretty overpowered. But it's going to be about 15 to, 20 meters. Or about that, then the damage would drop off. And then that would go up to 120 meters. And at 120 meters, it's just going to be awful damage anyways. And you probably won't even hit your shots. Also, they could even increase the spread a tiny bit to about 3.5 to maybe 4.0 for the spread and take off that 3.0 and put about 4.0 on there. And then they could also maybe increase the RPM just a tiny bit maybe about 510 to make it in line with the SMG, or about 500, around there. And also a way that they could nerf this weapon would be the mag size, and that would be, I would hope that they could make it about 25 instead of 30, and because of that higher damage, you don't really want a weapon that will just have 60 rounds in a magazine with extended clips, so we'll go about 50 with extended. And they could even go with that further and make the weapon only have a 20 round magazine and then 40 with extended mags. And I think that this would not only make the weapon just great up close, but drop off at a distance. It would also mean that the weapon is viable up close, and it wouldn't be too overpowered, in my opinion. Because if you're going to be shooting at somebody longer than 15 meters, then the weapon isn't going to be as great. Now, sure, this would make this SMG the best SMG in the game. I mean, no doubt about it. This would make it the best SMG, except for at long range where you'd want to be using the assault SMG. But it would make the weapon be better than the assault rifles at close range. But if you're going to be at long range, then you're just going to want to switch to an assault rifle, because you're going to be doing more damage at longer ranges. So that's what I would like to do with this weapon. Make it great up close, but at longer distances, you're not going to be wanting to use this weapon. So let me know your thoughts on this weapon in the comments. Do you think that, the way I thought about it and the way I think that this weapon could be improved, do you think that's a good idea? Or do you think that it's good where it is? Or do you think that it should even be nerfed? And, what are your thoughts on the weapon so far? And if you have any suggestions on to make this weapon better, then let me know those in the comments as well. So, hope you enjoy. Feedback is always appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.